Hello and welcome to another video of Kelpner. Today I'm going to start my two-part series. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a two-part series. It may be three, it depends on how long the videos go. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to go to this program. I called it EX. It's supposed to stand for example. So yeah, all this stuff on the screen here, you don't have to worry about it. In fact, I'll actually just make lines here. So today what I'm going to be doing is explain all this stuff in Control. So yeah, all except graph style. I will include a link in the description on a website. If you want to learn what graph style does, you can go there and everything will be okay. So let's dive right into it. So I'm just going to put a few things on the screen right now. I'm going to put this stuff that I'm talking about on the screen so you can kind of know what I'm doing. So if is like a thing to say if, for example, A is equal to 1 or whatever number. You could do 122. It's just what I put in. So if A is equal to 1, and then there's no then or else here, so I'm just going to take those off the screen. So if A is equal to 1, then it would do this next line here. So A might not be equal to 1, it doesn't matter. This is just an example, so it would run only the next line here. To run more than one lines, what you have to do is have a then in there. So the else, I'm going to take off the screen by inserting second delete, which is insert. I talked about that a little bit in my first, and I believe I talked about it a little bit in the last video, but not sure. Oops. So if A is equal to 1, then would run all the lines of programming until there's an end or there's an else, which we'll get to next. So basically what then is doing is running more than one line of programming out here. That's where the else comes in. So technically you would have at least two lines. You would have at least two lines between the then and the else because it runs more than two things. So basically it's saying if A is equal to 1, then do whatever. And if A is not equal to 1, then do whatever here. So that's basically what else does. It's saying if A, just in this example, A is not equal to 1, so I have to do something else. That's basically what that is saying. So now I'm going to get rid of all that. We're going to go on to 4. So for example, I'll have A, comma 1, comma 20, 20, and then A squared. I keep doing that. Okay, so this is saying for A, so it's taking the variable A and plugging it in, and then it's saying 1 to 20, and it's putting A in here, and so it's putting the 1 all the way through 20 into A. And that's basically how a for loop works. Yeah. So it'll square all the numbers from 1 to 20. Just in that example, you could have A output something on the screen or whatever. While I talked about this a little bit in one of my other videos, so in the while, like while 1 basically is an infinite loop, or you can have like while, that's program 5, while A is equal to 1 or something like that. So if A was equal to 1, it would run all the stuff until A wasn't equal to 1. That's basically all I have for a while. So I'm going to clear that and repeat, which is 6, corresponding on there at least. So repeat does basically the same thing. So you could have like repeat until, so let's say just for this example, get key was stored into K. So that means K is the keys on the screen. So repeat until K, I keep doing this up for myself. So repeat until K is equal to 45, which is the clear button right here, just in case you were wondering why I said 45. So yeah, that's basically repeat and while are like the same kind of things, but a while one loop is very common in programs that run for a long time. Clear that. So end is kind of self-explanatory. It ends a group of programming. So like in the if, then, and while loop that I had earlier, you would have to have an end on that, otherwise it would not work. That's basically what that does. Now we're on to pause, label, and go to. So pause is pretty self-explanatory. It's a pause in the program. Yeah, you just put pause in and that kind of stuff. So now we're to label and go to. Okay, so program 0. Okay, so what label and go to do basically, I kind of have them in the wrong order, so I'm going to talk about go to first, then label. So you would have, I had this in my last video actually, I had a little bit of I had this in the program at least. I talked about it a little bit, but not much. So go to is, so pretend the label is not here right now. Go to basically says in one part of the program, it'll say like go to 1. So that's saying after this is all done, go to 1. And then you'd have label somewhere down here or whatever on the program. And it would say label 1. So it's saying go to 1. So it'll go to the part that is labeled 1. And that's how that works. So you can skip from one part of the program to the other and not have to worry about deleting all that and then redoing it all over here. That's kind of an application for that. So now I believe we're on to IS and DS. So this is the part where I had the program on earlier. So, whoops, I did not mean to do that, but that's okay. So we're going to talk about IS first. So basically what IS is saying only in this line here, that's all that matters. This is just an example program that I'll run so you can have more of a firm understanding of this. So IS is saying, it's saying increase A until A is equal to 5. That's basically all it does. All this other stuff is just saying A is 1 to begin with, and then while A, so while A is A, and then you display it, and then end. So basically, I'm going to run this program, and you'll see it increments by 1s until A is equal to 5. So now A is equal to 5. So now it's all good. I'm going to go back into the program. So now I'll show you DS, which you probably already know means to decrease the number until it is equal to whatever number you have out here. So A was originally 1, so I'm going to make it higher, so it has to count at least a little bit. I'll make it 10. Oops, store into A. So it should have display 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And it will. Once I get there. Or not, it won't display 10, it'll display 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. But yeah. So that's how IS and DS work. Basically, it increments by 1s a variable or a value until it is equal to whatever was after the thing. That was very descriptive. Whatever is after the first thing here, it'll increment it until it is equal to that value. So now I'm going to go like this so you can see again. So that was IS and DS. Now we're going to menu. Actually, I'm going to show you a different program. So edit, it's this one. I gotta scroll down to the menu part. There's some words that come up on the screen here. This is the menu part. Again, if you want this in a little bit more detail, you can visit the website that I have down in the description, or the link in the description, and that will explain a little bit in more deeper detail. So this stuff down here does not really matter. So menu is basically puts things on the screen and then sets them equal to a value, so you can, so this is like 30, or actually I'll use 10 because label 10 is right here. So it asks speed, and then this, so the thing on the top should say speed, and then it'll have fast, slow, or medium, then slow. So fast is stored into 10, medium is stored into 20, slow is stored into 30. So 10, which would be fast, and then it does different stuff for the game. And I'll have a later video on this game. So the fast thing, it stores it into 10, and this is labeled 10, so it'll go down here. So one of the easiest ways to show this might be actually to run the program. So it has my logo on there first, and then, oh, whoops, I just failed. Well, you can see kind of what happens for this game. Anyway, I'm going to click on and quit. So I'm going to go back into this here. I clicked too much accidentally there, too fast. So it asks speed, and then it has fast, medium, and slow. So like slow is stored into 30. Doesn't matter that there's a 3, 30, that's just because it's the third thing, and it was just 10, 20, 30 because that's what I made it. So that's kind of that stuff there. So I'm going to click on and quit. I'm going to go back into our example program here and go down so this stuff is off the screen. So that was menu. So program, basically all program does is run a program. So you can have like program whatever, or you can go into execute and then do that, and it'll say program battle. So that'll execute the program battle. Then we're to return. So return can be like return to home screen, kind of stuff like that. So, or you can have return to 1, which was labeled in the beginning or something like that. That's basically that. Then stop, stops a program. So if you have like an infinite loop, you can have stop at the end and it'll stop the program. I don't believe end will not stop a while loop. I believe stop has to stop the while loop. That was kind of weird to say, but yeah. Delver, the best way to show you this, I say, is to go out here. So I'm going to store 7 into X. So if I just click X, it'll say 7. So X is now 7. What Delver does, so I'm going to go into catalog and click the D, and it'll give me Delver. So I'll do Delver X, and it'll say done. And you might be wondering what it does. What Delver does is sets the whatever variable was here to 0, so you can have that in a program. I don't know why. I don't like to use this. I just say 0 store into X. It's the same amount of bytes, I believe, anyways. So, but now if I do X, it should say 0. So that is that there. Now, I believe the only other one we have left is the graph one, which I'm not going to be explaining right now. It's kind of strange, and yeah, graph style, it's whatever, no, it's a number 1 to 3, or is it 5, something like that, and then comma a number 1 to 7. I'll have a link in the description, as I said earlier, and you can read on graph style because it is a little confusing, and that gives you a chart on what each of the numbers mean and stuff, and it'd be a little bit hard to explain. So yeah, that's basically all I have for this video, and the next video of this series will be coming out very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you look forward to the next one in the series. Thank you.